Austin has seen an economic boom and an explosion of growth, but not everyone in the city has shared in the prosperity. That's woefully obvious from the hundreds of homeless individuals that can be seen on Austin's streets, at intersections, and in the shadows.
Stress and sleep affect my mental issues. Made me become homeless. That's pretty
What's
much.
your future like?
God knows.
The homeless population in Austin is very diverse. We have folks living alone, we have folks living in families, we have people that are aging, and people who are just barely old enough to be out on their own. We saw a 5% increase in the point-in-time count in 2018, and a 7% increase overall between 2017 and 2016.
Living on the street or in cars or shelters is tough, exhausting, and even dangerous when you consider sleeping outside and around drugs and crime. The crisis is disheartening and it creates fear.
Parents like Joelle McNew say some in the homeless population have become aggressive. She recalls when a woman attacked her son for not giving her any money.
And that fear is present in many parts of the city.
Leanne Land says sometimes their park, which is right next to a school, doesn't feel safe.
Sometimes it can seem that they own it, not us.
But nowhere is it more impactful than downtown. In February of 2017, the Austin Chronicle published a disturbing article that said businesses in the Red River District were being plagued by aggressive panhandling of their patrons and by the filth associated with street homelessness. And in January of 2018, a cigar shop owner said he was moving out of downtown because of crime committed by the homeless.
A huge homeless population right on the edge of downtown within a block of my business has caused major problems.
The problem is big, but it has not been ignored. Austin voters passed housing bonds in 2006 and 2013 to create thousands of affordable homes, permanent supportive housing for individuals who were living on the street or were very close to it, and affordable homes for low to moderate income families.
I was in the process of losing my place. Finally, I'm on my way.
Starting in 2014, Austin mayors Lee Leffingwell and Steve Adler teamed up with community organizations to meet the challenge of addressing homelessness among veterans in the city. And in the summer of 2016,
a major feat in Austin, celebrated by U.S. Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro.
2 states and 29 communities have now ended veteran homelessness. I'm proud to say that Austin is one of those cities.
That first day I walked through that door, I knew I didn't have to stay out in that rain no more, that heat no more, you know. And being a diabetic, it's really hard, you know, to be out in that heat like that, you know. So that was just like, I thought about it like, oh man, most of all my problems are solved.
Immediately after, organizations turned their attention to youth homelessness, surpassing a goal of finding homes for more than 50 young adults in 100 days. HUD responded with a $5.2 million grant to help them eliminate youth homelessness by 2020. In 2015, a housing oasis started springing up just northeast of Austin. A project of Mobile Loaves and Fishes, Community First Village is an innovative collection of hundreds of micro homes for formerly homeless men and women.
Those on the front lines fighting homelessness say this model works because it not only provides a permanent home, but support services and a warm, welcoming community.
Welcome into a place where no matter how people view your weirdness, you're accepted here. Nobody pays attention.
And in 2016, Austin Police and EMS partnered with community organizations to launch the Homeless Outreach Street Team, or HOST. The team develops relationships with individuals living on the streets.
The connection has so far reached almost 1,800 people, 300 of whom have been linked to mental health services, medical providers, and housing programs, like Lisa Helsher.
I would see her, and she just would give you just a little bit of incentive not to give up, that it's okay.
In the summer of 2017, a 30-day pilot program began to improve conditions around the Arch Shelter downtown. More police presence, better lighting, and portable restrooms.
When the community sees the providers and the partners all coming together, I hope that builds momentum.
Momentum for a more permanent solution that's still not entirely clear.
The downtown pilot actually led to record-level lows for crime and crowding around the Arch. But once the police presence left, the crowding and camping returned. The community came together and drafted an action plan for Austin to end homelessness. The action plan addresses a variety of key components that take safety and access to services and access to housing into consideration.
The action plan calls for a 5-pronged approach to solving the homelessness crisis, including more and better mobile outreach to those on the street, and smaller shelters that more effectively connect people to housing. More funding for housing and support services. It's a proven fact that rapid rehousing and permanent supportive housing leads to long-term stability in areas like employment and health. Addressing disparities. Statistics show that some segments of Austin's population, such as African Americans, have suffered disproportionately from the housing crisis. The plan highlights the importance of addressing this. Ensuring the effectiveness of the systems put in place to address homelessness through careful data analysis and collaboration of the various programs and resources. Also by evaluating and improving the results of each part of the overall effort. Finally, a public-private partnership that identifies funding mechanisms adequate to meet the need and better understanding of the factors that lead to homelessness, so we can prevent it from happening.
This is a moment in time to build on success and look towards the future. We can do this. City Council's hard at work, private individuals and foundations are stepping up. There's a role for each of us to play. I hope you'll get involved.